Nice. Very nice.
Nice. That was
That
nice.
was awesome.
That's something about that Nina Simone song that just,
Yes.
no matter how your day going, it
Right.
gets you started.
Yeah.
It lets you know that, you can always have a new day. And
Yes.
Yes.
today is a new day,
Yes, it
right?
is. Yes, it is.
Hashtag Juneteenth blackout. We are here, our first live. I am so happy to be here. I am Shonspeaks, and I just want to say I'm blown away. I'm loving this. So we're gonna go around and do introductions, and we're gonna tell you what we all about. Go, Terrence.
Okay, I'll go next. My name is Terrence Drew. I am a CPA by profession and just have a heart for community. I'm really excited about just the vision for this group, the people that have joined already. We want to welcome you. This is going to be an awesome journey. I really believe that when we come up out of this virus, the coronavirus, as a people, we will not be the same.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree, Terrence. My name is Derek. I'm in IT. I'm a project manager by profession. So I'm excited about this group. I'm excited about the vision. We've grown so quickly, so fast. I just actually have one ask. I just ask everybody to invite people to the group. We have some great things coming in the future. We have some. I'm just super excited. I just can't. I'm excited to be a part of this journey, man. So, and that's what I have.
And as I said, I'm Sean Speaks. My name is LaShawn Fleming Bruce. By profession, I'm a lawyer. I also have a blog at freeyourthinkingmind.com and a podcast on Talk My Life on YouTube. And I'm just so grateful and so thankful to each and every person on this live and on this group just for making it happen.
So
So
we gotta welcome our guests for
Special
today,
guest. Special
which
guest.
special guest.
everyone will learn more about who this special guest is later. But if you'll mind now, Kanisha, if you would just introduce yourself real quickly.
Sure. I am Kenesha Allen, and I am a cost control in the cost control business with NASA KBR in my corporate life, but in my passion life, I love to help people with their wellness and with their health, as well as uh, helping with financials. So I also consult, I guess you can say, as far as with wellness and financials. And then the main thing, I am really heavily involved in Galveston, Texas. I am a BOI. I was born and raised in Galveston, Texas, and I am part of the Juneteenth committee and the board there in Galveston for many, many years of helping bring life to Juneteenth in Galveston as we did when I was just a little girl. So I'm so happy to be here, happy to see everyone's smiling faces, and looking forward to the journey that's ahead for this amazing group.
Thank you, Kanisha.
So
You're
one
welcome.
of the things I think we want to start off is we want people to understand why we created this group, and why we created it, and we wanted to pin it to Juneteenth. And once we start talking about when Kanisha gets into what Juneteenth is and the celebration, I think it'll all come together. But I know our main focus is we wanted to build up Black businesses, right? And our vision, I think, is to pour our resources intentionally and consciously into our Black businesses so that we can no longer complain about what we don't have. We are utilizing the resources that we do have to grow our communities the way we want to grow our communities. And so I know for me, when Terrence and Derek called me about this and we started talking about what we could possibly do, they know me. I got excited. I was like, yes, because
Super excited.
I'm all about building, right? I'm done complaining. I'm all about building, and so I'm just so excited to just be a part, right? Because I believe right now, if we want to grow, it's going to take teamwork,
Right.
and that's what I'm all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Terrence, you want to chime in there? Because when Terrence and I first we were just talking and brainstorming a little bit, and I said, you know what? I think we got the perfect person that we can call. And there was a little bit of hesitancy, you know, as like anything. But we called her. Sean was right in, and we're working on some other things together. But we were definitely excited too, and she was excited. She immediately said yes. But we appreciate it. What you got, Terrence?
You know, I guess what I chime in on is from having, I met Sean probably about a month or maybe 2 months ago, close to 2 months now. And Sean has always been about, we need to be about building for us. We need to focus on this long before any blackout, anything came about. It was just her whole focus around, we have the capacity, we have the resources. We just need to be focused on building our own communities, our own businesses. And this platform just kind of, to me, it was birthed from those conversations, honestly.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So as I go down the list here, we just the next thing, a topic. If you guys don't have anything else to add about the purpose of the vision of the group, we can go down to Kanisha and go ahead, Terrence. We'll talk about the Juneteenth celebration.
So why we chose Juneteenth is it's a well-known holiday already, and I think it's one that we as a people have not been truly educated around and really understand its true significance as it relates to our community. I think the unfortunate circumstances of what happened over the last couple of weeks, and I don't want to really delve into it. It just, to me, it just keeps bringing the trauma back. And I think today, based on the song, is a new day, and we want to kind of focus this conversation around the new day. But Juneteenth, I believe, has never really got the attention that we as a community should have ever given to Juneteenth, for various reasons. Just lack of understanding. I remember I had some very well-known leader once say, "Well, why would Black people celebrate Juneteenth when it was 2 years after you were actually emancipated, that you first learned that you have freedom?
Sweet.
Why would you celebrate that?" And I'm telling you, I went through a number of years of my adult life with that mindset based on the information that was given, feeling like really Juneteenth is not something we need to really be putting a lot of attention around. Honestly, I feel embarrassed today because I should have done my own work. I should have done my own research like I have now. I have a better understanding. And Kanisha, if you don't mind, just share with the group how you grew up with Juneteenth, being that, you know, you said BOI. A lot of us don't even know what BOI mean. I heard you say that the other day when you and I talked. I'm saying BOI. What is she talking about? So if you even elaborate on what you mean by the acronym BOI, I think I get it now. But I'm sure some other people may not get it as well.
Sure. So again, I was born and raised in Galveston, Texas, and my parents, a little bit more about me. My parents were born and raised in Louisiana. So my mom and dad, they met in Galveston, but they did not know anything about Juneteenth until they moved to Galveston. And they became involved with Juneteenth as well. And there was another man that I affectionately called Uncle James, and his name is Reverend James B. Thomas. And he was the first Black city councilman in Galveston, and he was on the grounds with the pioneer of Juneteenth, the late former state representative Al Edwards. And he took my mom and dad like his own children. And to this day, our families are very, 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 very close. But had it not been for him, for Reverend James B. Thomas, I would have not been as involved with Juneteenth or not have known about Juneteenth like I do today. So I can literally say from 6 years old, I was a part of what his son had a band called Clef Club. And so we had the whole band, and we had us, I guess, as the little majorette girls or something like that, you know. So Juneteenth in Galveston was a celebration from day one. Like you'll see on posts of people, you know, like on my page, you'll see people from Galveston that will start posting saying, what happened to the barbecues? Let's get back to doing the barbecues again. We don't smell it in the air anymore. You could literally drive around and everyone in Galveston would have barbecues, or people would
Big
be
deal.
out together celebrating Juneteenth. We would do a parade. The parade was huge. And then we would end the parade over across from Uncle James Church. And that's where the party would still continue, and we would have an amazing time. So now with him, when he transitioned, and, there are people that stepped in. I call them Brother and Sister Maggie Williams, because they were members of my church, and they were the ones that took over Juneteenth and continued it with under the umbrella of Old Central Culture Center. And Old Central Culture Center is the first Black high school, the oldest Black high school in the state of Texas. So not only, I as a BOI, which means born on the island, I take great pride and great honor in knowing that Galveston, Texas, is the birthplace of Juneteenth. And it has been I've been participating, like I said, since a little girl. When I went to college, Sister Williams, they still kept me involved, whether it was singing at the banquet that we would have every year, the Al Edwards banquet that we have, and we still would have it this year had it not been for COVID. But last year was his last time attending. He did not come to the banquet because of his health, but he was able to come to Ashton Villa for the Emancipation Proclamation reading, because we do a reenactment of that whole scene with General Granger. We have the soldiers come and everything. So we have an annual Al Edwards banquet. We also have a Juneteenth gala that we've added to the schedule to do celebration. And then we always have the breakfast on the actual Juneteenth day, so that we can reenact that whole time. And, the breakfast is free. People come out and celebrate Juneteenth. And there is also a statue of the late State Representative Al Edwards in the Ashton Villa courtyard, is like what I like to call it. And so for this year, we are going to do a memorial for him with his family the morning of June 19th at 10 o'clock a.m. at Ashton Villa. So even though we won't have our normal events because of the COVID-19, we want to be mindful of that. We did speak with his family, and we did come to the decision that they were very much happy to want to do a memorial service on June 19th in his memory. Just like Terrence was saying, I have said so many years that Galveston does not get, or Juneteenth, Galveston does not get the recognition that it should as being the birthplace of Juneteenth.
Right.
And I feel like if you're in driving distance, if you can catch a quick flight and get to Galveston, or if your passion is history and you want to just come be a part, for us as a people, you should be in Galveston every June 19th.
Absolutely.
I understand that everyone celebrates it in their own way in other cities. Right up the street from me in Houston, they have Emancipation Park. But there's nothing like a celebration to me when we come together to the birthplace. When you have an opportunity to be at the birthplace and you're able to wrap your arms around the birthplace, to me that says a whole lot. That brings us together more netted, more closer, because you're able to say, I'm at the birthplace of Juneteenth. I'm celebrating. So that has been being on the board is an honor, because I'm able to still continue that participation, still bring awareness to Juneteenth. Able to meet you all, because it was a family member of mine that added me to the group, and I was all excited. I was like, yes, what is this group? Anytime I see Juneteenth, I get real excited about it. But not all groups are like Terrence said, have the mindset. So I'm very leery of where I connect and who I connect with, because at the end of the day, Old Central Culture Center, we have to make sure we have the correct representation. We have to be sure that we're connecting with the right people,
Right.
Because there's a lot of history involved with Old Central, as well as with Juneteenth. And I believe you all are some amazing people just from meeting you here this morning. So,
So
was there anything else?
Kanisha, can you kind of elaborate a little bit about what the late State Representative Al Edwards, what he has meant for Juneteenth in the state of Texas? Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
Absolutely. He meant a lot. Every banquet that we had in his honor, he made every last one of them.
Mm.
The only one he was not able to make was on last year. Again, like I said, it was due to his health. But if it had not been for him fighting to, put that legislation in place, it would not have happened. He would always tell the story of how it was all this stacks of things that were going to get approved. And he just went on ahead and slid his little legislation in there. It slid on through. And so him and Reverend Thomas worked together hand in hand, locked together hand in hand, and his passion and his grit for us as a people, as well as, he continued the fight, even though he was not, the senator, the state representative from back when I was a little girl. He still had that same fight on last year at the breakfast. He still continued to say, continue to fight, continue to make Juneteenth known, continue to be the people of the people, continue to go and remember what this history means, not only to our people, because we are the ones that are most important for this. Is us, and educating us about how important Juneteenth is. That was his main thing that he would always share with us. And he would constantly say, continue to fight, continue to bring awareness, continue to let people know about Juneteenth. And that's what we strive to do within the Old Central Culture Center.
And Kanisha, one of the things that, and Terrence, you touched on it too, is that up until last year, I had never celebrated really Juneteenth, right? And it's almost as if, and I don't even know if it's almost, it was as if we were sort of trained and conditioned not to appreciate our own real history, right? Or to not even really know about it, right? Or to the extent that we did know about it, it was like, well, you're supposed to forget that. That's not really that important. This is more. And I think what happens when that happens is that you have a loss of an identity that's a part of you, right? You can sense something's missing, but you don't quite know what it is. And because you think of that as being bad or that as belittling, right? You sort of, don't really put your time and your attention to really learning. And one of the things that we have to really push for is we have to have a willingness to increase our own knowledge. Many of us really don't know about Juneteenth and don't understand the importance and the symbolism and the power of Juneteenth, right? We celebrate the 4th of July, and I'm not against celebrating the 4th of July. I got nothing against that. But you don't choose to celebrate the 4th of July for someone else's independence and forget about, your own people's independence, because we were not made independent in this America until we knew about it. Correct. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so
well, Sean, but in 1776, come on now, we're talking about we were free. Black people were freed when? 1865.
1865.
Come on, 1776. We dress up in the flag. We dress up in our 4th of July gear. We're going to have that barbecue. We're going to get drunk. And we celebrate something. We're celebrating something that it wasn't even for us.
Yeah.
And then we downplay, or we are literally ashamed of celebrating our independence, our freedom, literally.
Exactly.
We've been brainwashed.
Well,
We've been brainwashed to literally. I'm gonna say it. I'm the kind of guy you'll learn. I speak the truth, even though I know I'm not gonna be loved for it. I'm gonna speak the truth. We have been brainwashed to hate our own um, our own independence. We've been brainwashed to downplay and not pay homage to our ancestors who endured what they've endured so that we can even sit where we're sitting today, and we don't even have enough respect.
Hmm.
Think about what they're celebrating for the 4th of July. It's the people who fought for America's freedom, but it didn't even include us. And then we're made to be ashamed to celebrate the people who endured slavery for us to be able to sit here today as free people. It's sickening.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
disheartening when you
And
think about it.
I like to play. I was sharing with Terrence yesterday that when I saw it was a Blackish show. If you watch Anthony Anderson's
Yes.
Blackish show, and I was all excited because I saw they were going to do a
Mm,
Juneteenth
I know where you're going.
show, and I watched the entire show. I recorded the show because I was like, this is going to be great. And they did the whole little, the animation of
Dress up.
the dress, yeah, with the soldiers coming on the
Mm-hmm.
water, and they
Yep.
come to the land, but they never said
Talked
what the
about.
land
Yep.
was.
They never talked about Galveston.
I said, now how do you
Right.
say this is Juneteenth and this is when it came about, but you never say this is where this land that we're landing. Like where did the boat land? Where did the boat just land? And they never said anything. I tweeted him, I emailed, I sent everything
Kenya.
trying to reach
Kenya.
producers and do all type of stuff to get like to ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I have a 13-year-old daughter, and that's like saying, well, here's the baby, but we don't know whose mama it is. Like, what are we doing? So that ran me hot for a few days. I was so irritated. Then nobody was responding back to me. I was trying to call everybody I knew that knew somebody that knew somebody. Like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all need to tell them they need to put some respect on on Galveston, Texas for Juneteenth.
Hey,
So
hey, Kadisha,
I
what do you?
kind of calmed down a little bit from that now, but I'm still not happy with Anthony Anderson, not mentioning
Uh-oh.
Galveston, Texas.
What are you in preparations for next year? Are you what's like the what? Are you guys kind of doing a little pre-planning, or what's the? Have any discussions been started around Juneteenth 2021?
We have not. We just said that pretty much we are planning to stick to what we would usually do year
Okay.
after year. I will share that since Juneteenth is going to be on a Friday this year,
Mm-hmm.
kind of similar to the social justice, because in 2018, I did inaugural social justice luncheon in Galveston, Texas, and our keynote speaker was our native of Galveston, Texas as well, Monique Presley. And so that was a huge event, a very successful event to be able to come to Galveston and talk about social justice. And my concern was for what we've seen just happen. Well, it hasn't been anything like what we saw happen with George Floyd, but just the senseless shootings and the killings,
Mm.
right, of innocent Black men. I wanted her to come down so that she could speak to that platform, from the platform that she's on, to be able to speak to her hometown so that no one in Galveston would hopefully come to a senseless crime as what we have seen.
Mm.
And so then for this year, even though COVID happened, the plan was I wanted to have fireworks. Because just like you just said, the July 4th, Galveston goes out really big, for 4th of July and do fireworks and all of that. So I told Terrence I come up with these ideas and then I go back to the board and say, hey, so this is what I'm thinking. And so I wanted to do fireworks, but because of the COVID and it would be a lot of people, I pulled back with that. Not to do the fireworks on June 19th, had already spoken with the fire marshal, sent letters, had the Galveston chambers on board. I mean, everybody was ready to go.
Mm.
But because of COVID happening, I didn't want to risk us, and risk the people and, those that would
Right.
come and be in support of it. So I pulled back with that. But I was telling Terrence on yesterday that maybe since Juneteenth will fall on a Saturday next year, maybe we can look towards, I'll bring that back to the table. And now that we have, all of us here,
Right.
that would be something great, to celebrate for next year in Pastor Jude's, the fireworks. But we are planning to have our Juneteenth, the gala, as well as having the Al Edwards banquet.
Nice.
And then there are other events that are held, during the week of Juneteenth. And we always put a brochure together to show those events, because there are other churches like Reedy Chapel. They do a reenactment of the Underground Railroad, I believe is what they do. But there are other things that go on in Galveston. It's just Old Central is the umbrella that houses all of the things. But then we have different people that come together and they'll do, different things, and we, advertise those things. But for us, as far as Old Central, we do the Al Edwards banquet as well as the gala.
Now, for this year, what we're talking about doing, because of the COVID-19, is we're talking about streaming both the memorial service, streaming it to the Juneteenth Blackout Facebook group. And then, Kenesha, you want to do fireworks. We'll also have a fireworks presentation that we'll also have streamed. And then I'm working with Kenesha to try to see if we can have some gospel artists. And we'll have a gospel concert, all virtual, and have it streamed from our Facebook group. So I know my team members are looking like, what? How are we going to do this? But we're going to get that worked out to where we can do a virtual Juneteenth celebration this year.
I think it
and then on next year, we're going to all descend upon the island
we have to.
for the Juneteenth week.
And the great thing about it next year is it's on a Saturday. So
so y'all can come make it a
Friday,
weekend.
Right.
I said weekend.
Right?
Yes. That's what we're planning to do. That's definitely.
I don't get in the Gulf. I don't get in the water on the Gulf. Now I'll walk the sand with y'all, but anybody that wants to get in the water, that's the Gulf, y'all. I don't do that.
Me either.
I'm not getting in the water. I'll walk and I'll sit on the beach.
Yes, I'll sit out there with y'all all day long now.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Our goal is to hopefully work with y'all and make it a big celebration.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And that's why
I'm sorry. I
was just saying, that's why I encourage everybody that's watching, everybody that's on the Facebook Live now, go ahead and share this on your, go ahead and share this on your page. Do a watch party about this, because I'm super excited about it. And it's just, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited. I do want to go back though a little bit and talk about, kind of develop for people that are watching sort of what our vision is in connection with Juneteenth, right? I think our immediate vision really is to give attention to our Black business, give resources to our Black business via by supporting, buying, etc. But we want to set the stage for not only existing Black businesses to connect with other businesses and customers, but also, and Terrence and Derek, they know this about me. I just truly think that there's some super intelligent, techno-savvy people out there.
Right.
And you just need a platform and a group of people who will first listen to your idea and maybe help give you some guidance to build business and then eventually industry. You're not going to tell me that we don't have some technologically savvy people that can build some technologies that can change the world, right? And we want to be a place where we can nurture and help fund and help support those new businesses. And that's something I think Terrence, we're going to talk about just a little bit today as far as our long-term vision with regards to becoming sort of a place where new businesses can find support in the building of the business, right? In the creation of the business. And so that's kind of our long-term vision. But right now, we want to make sure that when you are on Juneteenth Blackout, and and you post your businesses, that you're going to actually see measurable growth from our initiatives of really encouraging and pushing, because I can get a little pushy, y'all. I know I can. But to support, I make it a point. I'm being very, very intentional and conscious to send my dollars to Black businesses, right? I'm being very intentional about it, right? I'm calling myself out because I wasn't doing that. And so that's kind of a part of our vision. But Terrence, I kind of want to pivot to you.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we're going to be implementing here over the next few weeks, actually, is where we're going to be showcasing at least 3 businesses, right? We're going to identify 3 businesses that are members of the group. And then what we're going to do is then begin to push those businesses. We're going to begin to help them market to the group. We're going to have a concerted, direct effort to boost the sales of those 3 businesses. And we want it to be measurable. So we want to say, okay, we started this initiative. Your sales were at $50,000, and now after the initiative, we doubled that, and we tripled that. Those are the kind of metrics that we want to begin to monitor and to impact. And so just be paying attention. We're going to be sending out information. We're going to start with 3. Yep. And then as we get more and more volunteers, more and more people who are willing to really contribute to the growth of the group, then we're going to expand that. We'll be able to actually highlight or showcase even more businesses every month. Right. But every month we want to have, that's one of our main initiatives, is to be able to sponsor through like a watch party, where we're going to actually have the business owners communicate or share information about their businesses, and then we're going to be pushing that month for all the members of the group to buy and support those businesses. Right. That's one of the initial initiatives we're going to start off with.
Right. And I really like that initiative. I mean, again, we have so many businesses that are within the group. I want to say maybe 20, 25 or so. And that was the whole purpose behind the Juneteenth Blackout, to support Black businesses, and also, we can support them, help them grow. Again, you guys will be seeing some information. I'll be posting out. I'm going to ask you guys to email me. I'll post it out on the page, and we're going to come through as a collective and say, okay, we want to go. We want to take this brand, and this brand, and go ahead and push them for the month. And like Terrence just said, what we're going to do is we're going to bring them onto the platform. We're going to give you guys a chance to understand. They're going to tell you guys what they're selling, what their ideas are, and hopefully we can make a change in the next month and the next month, and we're just going to keep pushing this, as much as we can until we get there. So that's kind of the initial plan, and the initial idea about the group is just to kind of uplift each other, and not just a page where we post things, but also have actionable items, and being able to close the loop in that next month, and get them back on and say, hey, how did you guys do? So you guys can see the tangible goals that we can meet as a people, and as we grow, we just get bigger and bigger, and everybody helps support. And I think that's just how we make that change.
Yeah.
Because it's like this, and and Terrence and Derek, they hear me say this all the time. We have enough resources to solve our own problems, right? We just have to direct those resources in a way that produces the result that we want. Right. Because we have enough resources. We are $1 trillion. What did you say, Terrence? What our spending power is equated to the 9th largest country.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just learned this probably a few months ago, that African American people in the United States are, as a collective. When I say this, as a collective, and this is not me. This is what's the brother's name? KRS-One.
Yes.
Yeah, KRS-One.
Yeah, he was the one who I heard say this. So I'm not smart enough to say I came up with this. So anyway, he pointed out that African American people in the United States are the richest African people in the world today as a collective. And he went on to say, as a country, if we were a country, if we were to uproot, not leave the United States, because we got a right to be here, so I'm not saying go nowhere else, but here in the United States, if we were to carve out some space for us in the U.S. and have our own country, we would be the 9th largest country in the world without spending power. So we don't lack resources.
Right.
We don't lack capital. We're just making everybody else rich with it.
Exactly. And that is something that I am determined to get us to see that and to change that, because all we have to do is redirect our resources. A lot of times we get caught up, in saying this, and I know I've said it, and I'm sure a lot of you've said it. I would start a business if I was rich. If I had $1 million, I would start a business. And the thing I tell people, and as I say, if you want to start a business, start right where you're at. Right. If you got one customer, that's all the customers you need. Perfect that. Right. Because at the end of the day, you can grow. We have to get comfortable with small beginnings. Right. Small beginnings. And then we have to show up and be consistent. I have this thing that I say, consistency compounds. Right. It's going to compound on you, either beneficially or detrimentally, but it will compound, which means you got to continue to show up. And one of the things that we can do as a group, right, if we take that spending power that we have utilized, we've been using it to grow other people's wealth, other groups' wealth, right? And I'm not saying that we're going to get to a place where we're not going to spend outside of our group. I wouldn't even want us to necessarily do that. But what we do need to do is grow our spending power up into industries, right? And we can do that, and you don't have to be a multi-millionaire to do that, right? But what we have to do is we have to use our crowdfunding, our group economics effect, right? And let me give you an example. If we just take when tragedies occur, right? And unfortunately, tragedies occur. But when those tragedies occur, usually what's created is usually some type of GoFundMe account, right? And a GoFundMe account, usually if it's a major tragedy, they can raise millions of dollars. Like I'm talking about $10 million, $11 million, $12 million, $20 million, right? So if we can come together and raise funds in tragedy, and tragic things, why can't we come together to build up community, build up new industries, build up people who got great ideas? There's a lot of people who have great ideas and they think that they can never manifest those great ideas. But what I want to create and what we're wanting to create through Juneteenth Blackout is a safe place where you can say, wait a minute, I have some ideas. Come together and let's try to make this idea let's manifest this idea. And let's go to the group and let's fund this idea, right? This is the one thing that they've gotten us. We have gotten so and I know I suffer from this. I suffered from this for so long, but I'm totally against it now. Individualism, right? I thought I could do everything by myself. I want to do everything by myself. But when you do everything by yourself, you can only go to a certain point. You need a team, right? You need a team, right? And that's what we're going to become a team together, right? And we're going to aim that teamwork to build. And if we do that, y'all, I'm telling you, it's not going to require you to have to give $1 million, right? But it's going to require a lot of people to give a little, right? And as we grow that, oh my goodness, y'all don't understand what we do.
It's possible. It's
possible. See, this is the thing, y'all know. I am like a information junkie, right? I'm all in to learning, right? But I watch myself and I watch other people, and we've been missing it, y'all, because we've been so focused on thinking we had to show up by ourselves. But if we show up as a unified people with vision and a willingness and patience, be patient with us, right? Be patient with us, right? Because we're doing something that a lot of us have never done before, right? We're treading new territory, right? And when you're trying to build, sometimes you got to go deep to build higher, right? And that's what this is all about. And I'm telling you, y'all, I know it's some technological savvy people who got some great ideas, and if so, we need to get together and talk about it.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was waiting on you to chime in.
So I didn't want to cut Sean off, but she didn't. I'm over here moving in my seat like I couldn't keep still when she said about a team. I have a team mindset, and I thought I don't have the book down here with me, but I would challenge us on this live, as well as those that are watching and those that are watching the recording. Outwitting the Devil. There's this book called Outwitting the Devil.
Best book ever.
That book I've read that book. I'm in a book club right now with it, and this is my 4th time reading the book.
Wow.
And I read the book. The words didn't change in the book, but it's what sticks out to you in the moment in time of what we're facing right now today in America. And when Sean said about having a team, that's what the devil says. And just a little bit about the book. The author, and my brain is
Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill.
This was written in 1938.
And you would think it was written yesterday, but keep on.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And like you take away, if you go get the book, take out of your mind if he's really having a conversation with the devil, or if he's having a conversation with his inner self, with his other mind of himself. Just take that away. Pay attention to the words, because the devil says that he took control of us when we were in the womb. And then when we come out of the womb, he still controls. He still has control over us when we go to school within our parents, and not in a way that our parents don't love and care for us, but in a way that, okay, the parents are not giving the attention here. The parents are busy trying to provide, so therefore the devil starts putting other things in. Today, what is called vaping, back then was the cigarettes, right? So he uses all the different things of how the devil decides, or when he takes control of our mind and causes us to start drifting. And when we start drifting, you have to determine if you're going to be a drifter, and you're going to allow him to continue to manipulate your mind, because he says once you start thinking positive, once that other person decides that he wants to try to help you, he said it's amazing how he being God has to convince us to come and be a part of his worship. But with the devil, we just do it like it's just it's normal.
Yeah.
But it speaks about having a team. And once you have a team, if you start thinking for yourselves, game over for the devil.
Game over.
We're able to come together as a team, and being able to help each other as a team, and being able to move each other as a team when like-mindedness and mindset of people come together, because everybody doesn't have a mindset of abundance. And that's where my mindset is an abundance mentality, that if I have this abundance in order to be able to help other people and literally pull people up with me, if they allow you to, because those people, everybody's not ready to be lifted because they have a mentality that I'm supposed to stay right here where I am. I'm supposed to be in poverty. I'm supposed to be, stuck and not be able to have the riches of the land. And that's not what God's word says. We're supposed to have an abundance. People say, oh, well, I don't want money, riches, and fame, and this and that. But we're not supposed to be poor either.
Right.
Come on.
So you have to have that mindset that you want more. We say that we want more, but to do the work and to be able to connect with like-minded people to get that wealth that we so deserve, that God says we're supposed to have, you have to be willing. You got to have that mindset. So I would highly recommend, and be ready for it, because I warned you that. And don't worry about the first 2 chapters. I think we started at chapter 3. I'll come back and post in here where we started with it. But just take out of your mind is is Napoleon Hill really having a conversation with the devil? And pay attention to those words on the paper. And the last thing I want to say is with changing your aim. One of my business partners, she's a Kobe fan. She was a huge Kobe fan, and we always talked about having the Mamba mindset. And so when you said switch your aim, Sean, it was like having an aim. So in business, you may have an aim, you may have a goal that you're wanting to reach. And sometimes you'll go at that goal and you'll shoot your shot, right? But then it doesn't go how you thought it should go, how you wanted it to go. So instead of getting discouraged or being, feeling down about it, just switch your aim. You just got to switch your aim. Move. Her name is Dee, and she always says with the triangular effect, we want to be able to move around that court, but just switch your aim. So and along with the abundance mentality and abundance mindset, it's also having that Mamba, mindset, like how Kobe constantly lived by. In basketball, he studied that game. He studied it day in, day night. He dreamed about the game. And I believe that's what it has to be for us, as a people. We have to study this thing. And we've been studying it and studying it. Now it's like game time. It's time to just start collectively coming together and put this game into action and start hitting that scoreboard and making those points.
We have to stop.
You got it started.
Hey, look, they know me. I have to tame myself. I really do. I have to tame myself. Because it really is about, you set that aim, and a lot of times what happened is we set that aim, and let's say we miss it, and we get discouraged, but it's okay. What you have to do is you have to regroup, right? Figure out what the problem is, figure out whether you needed to go over the hill, around the hill, under the hill, whatever it is, and then start it over again, right? And then if you have to change the trajectory, it's okay. Right. But that's what we have to do individually. And then that's what we have to then start to do as a group. Right. Which I think that's what we're trying to do right now, is say, OK, this is a great opportunity to get us to grow ourselves in ways that we want to grow ourselves. And I have to say, Kanisha, I have also read Outwitting the Devil, and I think the whole entire book is actually excellent.
Yes.
You would actually, when you read the whole thing, you really would. It's hard to believe that book was written so long ago, because the application is literally today.
Yes.
It's just some great information in that book. If you just, I always tell people, I read all books as literature, right? To me, every book that's written in this world is literature to me. I pull out what empowers and what serves. And I think that's how we have to learn how to live life, is we need to start to actually look at things and say, okay, how does this serve me? Right? Because I agree with you. I think that we've been so trained to think in a scarcity mindset. I know I have. All right. I can't speak for everybody else. I've always had sort of a scarcity mindset, but I don't have a scarcity mindset. But I look out around this world, right? All I see is abundance. I see trees everywhere. I see grass everywhere. I see whatever it is that I need to create and to manifest what I want. Right. It's out there, right? Yeah. And let me tell you something. Your mind is a powerful thing. Yes, right? Your mind is a very, very powerful thing. There's some things that you can start to think about in your mind, right? And if you can get in alignment with your thoughts, right, your words and your actions, if you can get that in alignment, you can make things happen. Yes, I know that you can make things happen.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I'm a witness to that too, to the manifestation. I said that was the last thing, but one more thing.
No, you're good.
Sean,
Go ahead. You're good.
But the manifestation, I literally started manifesting back. Like, I already knew that if you speak it and you say it and you think it, it will come to pass. But I literally just sat down and really just tried it. I said, I'm going to give this a try. And I know it was the beginning of November, and I activated on November the 15th. And things as far as saying, a check will be in the mail, and I was a part of a manifestation group. And so we had different things we were journaling and writing down. And one day they were like, okay, you want to look for, you pick one or two of these things that you want to see. and it was butterflies and something else. And I think it was cold. So I was like, where am I going to see a butterfly? I'm not going to see a butterfly nowhere. There's, and it could be anywhere that you could see the butterflies. And I'm in, near Houston, Texas. So I was like, I'm not going to see butterflies. It's just not going to happen. I walked into one of my colleagues' office. She had pillows sitting in a chair with a whole bunch of butterflies on her little trinket sitting on her desk. I stopped in her office and I just paused, and I had never been in her office before. But on that particular day, when I'm looking for butterflies, I see a whole bunch of butterflies, and I just bust out laughing. And she was like, "What's wrong?" And I had to tell her what I was doing. I shared the manifestation with her. So, and about the scarcity of monies. Let's think about this: how the White House decided to send out the monies, that stimulus check, right? And we talked about this in another group, and it made the light bulb come off too. America is already in debt. But here it is. It was just up and decided. We're going to print $3 trillion or however much money. They printed all this, just went and printed the money. No budget, no, do we have it to do it? No,
nobody caring about no deficit. What about the deficit? Nobody saying a word about the deficit.
Nobody said anything about the deficit. Go over there and let's go print this money. So you mean to tell me they can go print out all this money, but we can't get what we're supposed to have for us?
Oh.
We can't come together as a people and lock arms together when they can sit and went and printed the money.
Yeah.
People talk about, I got that stimulus check. Hey, my stimulus check is here. Hey, the money was printed.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that? They didn't talk about what we already have.
But Kenesha, what have they always hated black folks for as it relates to government handouts? Was the welfare, was the giving away of money to black people.
Right.
That we're hated for that by Trump supporters.
Right.
Okay, but this is the thing. We were never the greatest recipients of welfare. Let's just set that statistic straight.
But it didn't matter. It's all about brainwashing, right?
Yeah.
It's all about it's the perception. The perception is all black people want are handouts.
Right.
They want the government to give, but like you said, Kenesha, but you go print out $3 trillion worth of money
$3 trillion
that you just give away to people.
But I think the point there, Kenesha, Terrence, there is that money is actually an illusion, right? Mm-hmm. Money is a created idea, right? Money as created by the American system is actually just debt. Read your paper. Read what it says. It's a debt, right? The truth of the matter is that America never wants to really get out of debt. They never want to eliminate the deficit, because the mere dollar itself is a deficit, right? You need a debt in order for the dollar to have value. Right. You need the dollar to have debt. The debt and the dollar are one and the same.
They're hand in hand.
They're hand in hand. And see, this is why you have to
Say what?
Right. This is why
what did you just say? Say that again.
The dollar and the debt is hand in hand.
They're hand in hand. One and the same. One and the same. And let me tell you something. When you get that, when you really get that, you're no longer afraid of money, right? When you get that, when you really get that, you know that if I got 3,000 people, if I got 4,000 people, that we got a mutual vision and a goal. Yes. We got enough resources in our existence to manifest what we want, right? So that's the thing. It's an illusion, because just like you just said, Kenesha, so brilliantly, right? All they did was with a stroke of a pen, printed some money. That's all they did, right? But they got us scared of money.
Yes.
Right. Yes. And so we gotta change that mindset. We could stroke of a pen too. Right?
Let's start right yourself a check. That's what I
Right.
did. I wrote myself a check for what I want to have at a projected date.
Yep.
Wrote myself a check.
Yep.
And when I've done it before, I've always exceeded what that amount was. So now I'm over here scaring myself. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's see. Let me write this check for this amount and let's see what happens.
But this is the thing, and I so agree with you regarding, manifestation. And I think for me, what I started to do is I literally started to pay attention to myself, right? And I started having, started doing little exercise similar to what you were talking about, Kanisha. I just started to pay attention to myself, and I started to realize that when I started to think about things, I started paying attention that it was beginning to happen. Now, what I did is I started journaling. I started literally, I wish I had it readily available. I'll show you because it's so messy. I literally every day I would write something. If somebody said something that I thought was a good idea, I put it in that book. If I thought of a picture and I can't draw, I'll do my best rendition of it in the book, right? And this is what I started finding after maybe a year of doing that. Life started to look like the book.
Yes.
Right? And no, and I'm being up. And then and I wrote a blog post about it. I said, wow, I'm the designer of my life book, right? Right. But the problem was I was so conditioned to look at life and think of life in terms of what I was trained, not realizing that went against really who I was and who I wanted to be. But when I started to be more intentional about what it was I wanted to see in my life, right? Who I wanted to show up as in my life, right? It's literally as if, I started to design my life in the blank spaces, right? I took the information from other people, but I said, okay, well, Sean, what do I want from this? How do I want my life to look? And I know it's true because I'm on this call with you guys, right? I'm on this call with you guys. And so I think we've got to start to refocus our power and our attention and our intention in the direction that we want it to go. Right? Who do we want to be? This is the question I always ask. Who do we want to be as a people? Do we want to be a people who always got to go out there and protest because the police then done something they shouldn't have done? Or do we want to be a people who say enough is enough? That's not going to happen anymore, right? Because we're going to shut that down. We're going to get whoever we need to get out of the office. We're going to become strategic, right? We're going to start to make strategic moves, strategic plays in this life so that we start to show up how we want to.
Yep. Hey, Sean, we are actually, not to cut y'all off, but we want to no. We going to have to do this again. We wanted to keep it at an hour. Kanisha, we wanted to respect your time. We wanted to respect the people that are viewing time as well, and just kind of time box it at an hour. I'm super excited, and we can go around, have a round table. But Kanisha, I'm just looking at the vision of 2021 Juneteenth, that weekend. We got black vendors out. We got black food trucks owners out, and no violence. Everybody's just having fun. Like you said, you got all the barbecue smoke in the air and all of that. And I think back, it's funny, I had a thought in my head. I remember back in the early 2000s, they used to have the big beach party down there. So I know y'all remember that and how much traffic was. So that's what I'm envisioning. That's the type of, I wouldn't say crowd, but just the type of energy that I'm envisioning for Juneteenth next year. One thing I would like to circle around, just kind of real quickly, just talk about the group expectations, some of the posts. As of now, we're keeping the posts open. We have been getting some things that have been a little bit, were not
dicey.
It's been choppy. It's been choppy here. And so our intention is, we want to be positive, right? We want to post positive things. We want to post things that are, about what we're about. So we have it open right now, but soon we're going to it's going to be an approval process. So I want to talk about that. Just respect others posts and with your comments and things like that. But again, that's all I wanted. Kanisha, we appreciate you joining. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go around the table before we close out, but we appreciate it.
Well, one of the things I do want to say before we close out, to just go back to the spotlight businesses of the choosing, 3 businesses.
Okay.
The one thing that Terrence and Derek and I have committed to for the spotlight businesses is every time we choose a spotlight business, we are committing, $50 to that particular business for the for
Whatever
that
they
month.
selling, right?
Whatever they're selling, I'm buying.
Right.
Terrence is buying. Derek is buying, and we hope that you will too, because we want to have measurable changes in these people's businesses, and so that they can grow. Because I always tell people, when your necessaries are met, you can become more creative, right? Because you're not worried about how I'm going to eat, where I'm going to stay. So we want to get more than people's necessaries met. And so we're committing, $50 per vendor that we spotlight from here till,
Whatever.
till I die. Right?
Look, we just not put. We want to put our money where our mouth is.
Sean, say something about the 19th day of the month. The 19th. What the significance of the 19th?
That's right. Okay, so one of the things that we talked about when we was establishing this group is, we're not talking about doing this just for Juneteenth, right? For us, Juneteenth is going to be Juneteenth every month, right? So on the 19th of every month, for as long as, we got people showing up and we're doing this, we are going to just support our Black businesses, our Black owned businesses, our Black managed businesses, our Black online businesses. This is the time for you to buy Black owned all day. Preferably want to buy every day, but on the 19th of every month, we want you to go hard and buying Black businesses. And we would like for you to start with Black businesses that are in the group, yes, right? That are members of the group, but also just Black businesses, period, right? So we definitely want the 19th of every month, because this is the thing that I told Terrence and Derek this, right? We're very good. We cannot punish other people, right? We can't punish them. America is built on their foundation. But what we can do is we can redirect our energy in building us, right? It's all about building us. If we build our businesses, if we build our individuals, and we build our mindsets, we're not going to have a need to punish them, because then we can become players, right? Because now we offer something that they need, just like they offer something that we need. Mm-hmm. So that is the goal. That is one of the major goals of this platform that we're all about. Terrence?
Oh, I was gonna let Derek go.
Oh no, I said my spiel. I just wanted to thank everybody. Thank you guys. Thank the special guests. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. We just, people can talk about it, but when we talked about, I'm not sure if it was Terry's idea or Sean, but we said, hey, we have to start first by investing into these companies, and then we got to lead by example. So I'm excited about it. I just can't wait to see where this goes, especially this time next year. I'm just super excited. We're not just a group. We're a group with a purpose, and that's our purpose, to bring each other up, build Black economics, and I'm excited.
I will say this upon wrapping it up for me. When we first started it and we started seeing the numbers go up, and we saw the growth within the first few days. It was really exciting. And then I started thinking about, but what is it about this group that will give this group longevity? And to me, what I think will separate us and set us apart for what we're doing is our focus on the businesses that are in the group,
right? And
the growth and the development, and having those businesses get to a place where they're living in abundance. And then having those businesses then reinvest into other businesses.
Right.
So I'm not necessarily, at this point, my mindset is not, we want you all to keep inviting people, but I'm wanting to focus more quality over quantity. Are we making a difference? We could have 1 million folks in the group, and the businesses that are in the group are not seeing their numbers impacted, then what was the point? So that's where my heart is right now. Is let's try to focus on quality of what are we delivering. What is the end result of what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah. And one more thing, Derek, because I know you are time.
No, you're good. No.
That and we had talked about this earlier. One of the things that I'm passionate about is really bringing new business to market, right? And so, you know, but I think that one of the things we got to learn how we got to start doing is we got to start to be willing to do think tanks. So one of the things that I'm willing to do, and Derek and Terrence and we have some others, is if you really have a great business idea, you know, email Derek when he sends the email out, because I do want to arrange private. This will not be on Facebook Live. This will not be posted on my Talk My Life podcast. It won't be. It will be a private, you know, think tank session, you know, for people who have business ideas, right? If you have business ideas, I want to hear you out. I want to listen to you, because if I think it's a good business idea, I will back you, right? You know, I will back a jockey, a good jockey, all day. And I know that there are some good, great Black businessmen, businesswomen jockeys out there. And so we want to become a support forum for new business as well. And that's something that we're going to be rolling out in the near future. But if you have something now, we definitely want to start talking about it, because it's up to us to build us up.
Right.
Right.
Kanisha, what you got, Miss
Kanisha?
Kanisha?
I just want to say again, thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here, and looking forward to working with each and every one of you, as far as what the goals and the mission is. I think it's going to be a wonderful platform, and there's so much more that's going to come within this group, for now and just forever.
Yep.
So happy to be here.
Yes. Y'all be on the lookout for Juneteenth 2021.
Yes.
But thank you guys. We appreciate you guys joining us. And again, share this video. Invite all your friends. We have some really great things coming along, and we definitely appreciate it. So I'll go ahead and close this out, and I appreciate everybody.
Bye.
Bye.